Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Tim Meyer, here for the Romeo Sports Recap, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. And before we begin, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Romeo Sports Recap show. I'm Tim Meyer, and today I'm joined by Coach Derek Ganfield, the Varsity girls softball team. And Derek, first year this year.
Yes.
How did you get involved? When did you decide that this was going to be a job for you?
Well, it just kind of sprung up on me, actually. I'd started coaching some of the girls when they were actually playing Washington baseball, and then they made the transition into softball, my daughter in particular, and I'd never been involved in girls softball. I'd played some men's slow pitch softball, but was always involved in athletics and baseball, high school athletics, variety of sports and locations is where I've been coaching. And so when the job opened up, I figured, you know what, it's a great group of girls. Coaching's in my blood. It's something I enjoy doing, and I figured I'd give it a shot and see where the
what do you think your tangible assets are, the little extra you bring to coaching?
Well, Coach LeBlanc, my assistant coach, and I were talking when I first got the job, and even while he's been coaching basketball, and just all of the experiences that I've had. I've coached with a lot of well-established, well-experienced coaches, be it football, baseball, basketball, and I felt that I'd learned a lot from them, dealing with kids, being a 27-year teacher, dealing with kids and parents, and just developing programs and implementing, fundamentals and things like that with the sport, and hopefully trying to pass along my passion for athletics in whatever sport it may be.
And what is your assessment of the ability of some of these girls here?
Oh, that was really one of the things that drove me to aspire to take the job and to apply for the job. Being a parent for the last 3 years and watching these girls come up through the ranks of Romeo softball and seeing where they were last year, the success that they had, the talent that they'd had, the camaraderie that they had, it seemed like a no-brainer that this would be a good program to step into, a good group of girls to step into with, and I think that's made the transition much easier for me, coming from not having been a head coach of softball into this program.
Last year the team was 8-8, had some big successes and had some down points. This year, you guys starting off the season are 2-1. What do you see different in this team than last year?
Well, it's early yet, but there are a lot of things, a lot of positives that we've taken thus far. I'm a firm believer in teams that you're supposed to beat. You go out and you do that, and you don't let maybe a lesser talented team hang around with you. And I think we did that in game one. We played a good Lake Orion team in game two, and we fell behind, and it probably wasn't the way that we wanted to start, but because of the girls' talents and again, the camaraderie and just the competitiveness, we were able to claw back. And obviously we fell a little short against Lake Orion, but nonetheless, I liked the fight and the determination. And then just yesterday in our game, we fell behind again. Didn't play up to our abilities, I believe, at the beginning, but we had different girls step up in different situations. And again, I think a lot of that has to do with the girls and their relationship and just the environment that they develop on the field and off the field. But we were able to come back from, I think we were down 4 runs and tie it up, and then end up winning on a walk-off base hit, basically.
And that's always a great way to win it.
Absolutely.
Everybody's out there. Let's talk about
some of your players. Maybe give us a starting lineup or position by position, who you're playing there, and how they're doing or what you expect out of them.
Okay. We've kind of gone a non-traditional pitching technique. We have 3 pitchers that we feel confident in. So we're trying to get, the coaching staff is trying to get a good feel as to when, where, and how to work with them, and kind of mix things up a little bit so that we can feed off of the positives of each pitcher and maybe not put so much stress on them. So our pitching duties are shared by Emily Dawson, Liz Pugh, who's also playing third base, and then Katie Murphy, who's a sophomore.
Now I'm going to have to come to practice and bat against them just to,
as long as it's against them and not Coach LeBlanc and myself, because we have screens up and they're knocking down screens consistently. So it's not a good place to be as a pitcher.
Okay. Anyway, so those are your 3 pitchers.
Yep. And then behind the plate is Abigail Ganfield and Jess McLeod. Abby played the first 2 games, and then Jess caught the last game for us. Going around from third base, I'd mentioned Liz. And then Aubrey Rich is playing some first base, along with Emily Dawson when she's not pitching. And then Aubrey can go back and forth at the 2 corners. Annabelle Power has been basically the shortstop for the last 3 or 4 years. So she probably takes 99% of the reps and the time there. Second base, again, thus far it's been all Emily Reynolds, but we do have some ladies that we can put in there who are outfielders, infielders, some utility players. And then in the outfield, make sure I don't miss anyone here, Anna Iwaniki is in the outfield. Sarah Jesperson, Jackie LeBlanc's been out in center field. She'll play a little second base as well. Jess McLeod, as I mentioned, she's a catcher, but she can play some infield positions and possibly some outfield as well. Katie Murphy, I mentioned her. She's one of our pitchers, but she's an outfielder. Megan Myers has been out in the outfield. She's, again, infield, outfield type. And I think that's pretty much it. That takes us around the infield. And
you only have, I think you have only about 12 players. So is that easier for you to coach when you only have that much instead of maybe 18?
I think as far as getting repetitions and things like that, it's easier. And I think definitely with playing time, I think it makes it easier. But I think in the same sense, if you look at, again, if I look at anyone on this roster, they can play multiple positions. So they may not have the reps at those positions right now, but in a crunch, if we know ahead of time, we can get girls reps at maybe their secondary position. So we're really not too worried about it thus far. We've had a couple of dings here and there, a couple of minor injury types of things where we've had girls step in, and for the most part, we really haven't missed a beat.
You got boo-boos?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, okay.
A little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you can, and you can get scrapes and bumps and bruises from sliding around there too. So.
Well, and especially when your first 2 games are played in 30-degree weather. That makes it difficult.
Well, that'd be impossible at my age for me to do that. I can't hardly even move.
You and I both.
I can hear the bones cracking anyway. You guys, also something that's kind of interesting. I don't know how long you plan on coaching in Romeo, but next year you'll have a new softball stadium to play in. Do you know anything about it?
Yes, but I don't know how much I'm supposed to say. Actually,
well, you can see it. I mean,
Cody Smith, the athletic director, had sent me a picture. I guess it was a week and a half ago, and it looks as though there are a couple of the dugouts that are already up.
I saw some of that.
I've seen the plans, and they look outstanding. So,
is it going to be artificial surface, or is it going to be
the varsity boys baseball field will be all artificial turf, as will the varsity softball diamond, and then there will be. I believe the third diamond, which is a softball diamond, will be natural surface, grass and dirt.
And you think that'll make an exciting time for the ladies?
Oh, absolutely. I think those who graduated or those who are graduating this year, the girls will tell you that they're pretty disappointed that they'll be missing it, but they're moving along quickly. So I'd hate to say that we might be able to get out there, but I'd welcome that.
We were watching them work out there. They got all the poles in, like say some of the dugouts are up, and I don't know how long it takes to lay that turf down, but it seemed like they got the drainage in and everything. So I don't know. Who knows? You may be able to open up at maybe the end of the season. That
It'd
would
be
be
nice.
great. That'd
It'd
be
be
great.
nice.
Love to cover that. Um, you're in the MAC Red division this year,
Hmm.
and that's the usual: Dakota, Eisenhower, Grosse Pointe, North, Anchor Bay, I believe. No, Chippewa Valley. Excuse me, cousin. No, Anchor Bay. Yes.
Anchor Bay is with us. Yeah.
Yeah, Utica Ford, Port Huron. Um, biggest challenge for you guys? What team's going to give you the biggest challenge?
Well, I think if you take this to the girls, I think Dakota has been on their minds for the last couple of years. They'll know more specifically than I do, but I don't know that we've beaten them as a varsity team in the last 2 or 3 years. So that's probably going to be Dakota's going to be number one on their list, I think. For me personally, because I teach at Ford, it's going to be Ford. But every game's going to be big. I've talked to Matt Joseph, the coach at Ford,
Yes,
and we always talk in the MAC Red.
he's a good man.
You have to beat those teams that you're supposed to beat, and hopefully you split with the Dakotas, the Fords, and hopefully somewhere along the line they get tripped up by someone else, and things fall into place. But that's what you look for. But there's not an easy game in that MAC Red any year.
Yeah, well, that's why the Red is the top.
Yep, the Red is
Top
the Red.
spot you want to be in, or at least have your program aspire to be in the MAC Red.
Exactly.
So your daughter plays on the team.
She does.
What challenges does that present for you, or do you think she's like talking about you since while you're teaching at Ford? And
Well, fortunately for her, I think it was her first varsity home run came against Ford last year.
yes,
So,
well, I saw it.
yeah.
Yes, it was.
So that was exciting for me, maybe more so than for her. But I've coached Abby, like I said, when she started playing softball. That's when I got roped into it. I had no intentions of coaching softball at the time, and actually at that point, I didn't have any aspirations of coaching girls. Period. It was just I had a brother. I didn't have any sisters, and so Steve Amiel at the middle school actually talked me into coaching 7th grade girls basketball years ago. Actually, when Abby was an 8th grader, and it was one of those things. I'll never coach girls. I'll never coach girls. But after 1 year, it was, you know what? I like coaching girls. I like coaching girls.
It's different. There's a difference.
Yeah, there is. There are a lot of differences. But I've coached her CYO basketball teams, her softball teams, her little league baseball teams, like I'd said. So, and not only that, but I went through it when I was in high school. I rode to and from school and practice with my dad for football and baseball. So,
By the way, how come you're taller than your dad and he's he's just a little guy? Hope he's not watching. But is it from your mom's side of the family?
I guess so. My dad has some taller uncles, but
You got the short end, huh?
on my mom's side, her 3 brothers, I guess we're all pretty much about the same height. So,
Oh,
yeah,
I don't know.
I guess that's where it comes from.
Well, sure you're not like the milkman's son or something.
I don't think so.
Okay, sorry about that, Greg. Mrs. Gamfield, don't take that seriously. Do your daughter ever like argue with you when she comes home about what happened on the field that day? She make her opinions known to you?
It's probably the other way around. She has a good ability to leave it where it was on the field. And again, being involved in athletics and having my dad, that's how I was, that's how I was raised. On the way home, it was, we're going to talk about the game. And when we get home, we'll probably watch film and things like that. But she's better at just leaving it there. She's really a good kid. She doesn't, she'll handle things her way. She'll probably run off and just kind of avoid me rather than confronting me or anything like
Okay.
that. But she'll speak her mind if or when need be.
Did it help having a coach for a father? Did you pick up anything from him that you're using to this day?
Oh yeah, and not only that, but I think maybe the biggest thing was my friends and having those relationships. My friends having played for my dad. Again, it was 2 sports. It was football and ended up being baseball also. So, just things that they may say behind the scenes or, the positives, the things that they liked about my dad and the stories that they tell. And there are many of them out there from many generations. So
Believe me, I
many
know
decades.
a few of them too from Paul Murphy. So
Some good and some not so good. And obviously those are things that I learned from. But obviously I'm my own person. I think my mom and my dad would probably both tell you that I'm probably a little more towards my mom's side as far as personality goes. But I think I have a good mix of both.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to teaching, coaching, things like that.
Well, you got some big games coming up this week, and we want to thank you for stopping by and visiting with us here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show.
Yeah.
And we'll
Thanks
be
for
back to
having
talk to some of those players right after this.
Before we continue here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com.
We're back with some Romeo softball players, girls varsity softball players. Emily Reynolds, Anna Iwanaki, and Abby Gansfield. I know that. I knew that. But your grandparents are going to come and butcher me the next show here. So let's start out. Emily, start us out with, what position you play, what class you're in.
I'm a senior this year, and I've been playing second base so far.
I'm a senior this year, and I've been playing left field.
I'm a senior this year, and I've been catching.
Okay. Emily, start with you. You're senior, going into your senior year. You were on the team last year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And what seems different this year with the changing coaching and environment?
Honestly, just the confidence that Coach Ganfield has given us. We're allowed to make mistakes without playing with fear. So I think that's overall helped us to play. Yeah.
I try to get a job like that. I like to work without fear. How about you, Anna?
I feel like us as a team has kind of been affected by this. I feel like everybody's, again, not really playing with that tight nervousness to make mistakes.
And you're playing, where are you playing?
I'm playing outfield, but I mean like my team as a whole. Like we're not making as many overthrows. We're all loose and we know how to play our game.
And Abby, how about you? You kind of veteran here from last year to this year?
Yeah, kind of.
And it's your dad too, so be nice.
Oh, I'll try. Going off of what they said, I just feel like we have more fun this year. Like we're allowed to joke around a little more, and just makes it easier on us to be calm and have fun while doing it.
And
playing good.
And I'll stay with you, Abby. What do you think the best part of your game is in the diamond?
Like, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, are you an excellent fielder? Do you throw well, particularly batting? What do you think your strength is?
I feel like my strength is defense. I feel like I'm a pretty strong player behind the plate, I'd like to think.
Well, it's an important position.
Yeah.
That's for sure. You give the signs to the pitcher? Do you call the games?
I do not. The coaches do this year.
Okay. Yep. That's a little different.
Mm-hmm.
So do you find that funner or not? Or take a lot of pressure off you or what?
Yeah, I think it takes a lot of pressure off of me, if I'm being honest. And it's easier for the pitcher to, get the signs from the coaches if I mess it up,
Okay. Tell me about your strengths, Emily.
I think my strength is honestly just being able to get on base, whether it's taking a walk or just getting a double or something. I'm earlier in the lineup most times, so.
Do you you probably have a lot of, being a basketball player, you probably have a little bit of speed going down the line, you think?
Sometimes. I think I'm slowed down a little bit, but yeah, I consider it a little fast.
Yeah. And any over-the-shoulder catches or great double plays or what?
Yeah, I make a good amount with Animal Power, our shortstop.
Yeah. Do you got a good pivot at second base when you turn it?
Yeah.
Do you when you turn double play and you're pivoting for the double play? I mean, do you have different pivots? Do you go over the bag? Do you touch the bag and fall back?
I can either turn down on one knee or just shift both my feet towards second.
And that gives you pretty good power when you're throwing.
Mhm.
Oh, that's pretty interesting. How are you hitting them this year? You catching up to it yet?
Yeah.
I know it's early in the season sometimes, but
Yeah.
you hitting pretty good.
Yeah.
Good. And Anna, how about yourself? What is your specialty out there that you think you do really well?
I feel like I've grown a lot as an outfielder. I have a history of playing infield, and when I got to high school, it kind of changed. And I feel like, especially from like this year to like last year to this year, I feel like I've grown a lot with my strength in my arm and getting better reads on balls.
So do you think when you're out there, I mean, you're out there all alone instead of being in the infield. What's that feeling like?
A little bit more pressure, but at the same time, I know I'm fast and I know I can get there.
Do you get a good jump on the ball when it's hit? Do you anticipate pretty well?
I feel like it's gotten a lot better. I'm still not all the way there yet, but it's definitely improved.
Okay. Okay, so let's get a little personal here.
Okay.
Who's your boyfriend, Abby?
Ben Turner.
Oh my God.
Ben who?
Ben Turner.
Oh, he's a guy. He's a pretty good football player. Yeah.
He's pretty good.
Do you criticize him after the season this year? Or?
Oh, no.
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 Okay. All right. And more importantly, after high school, where do you think Abby Ganfield's going to end up?
Western Michigan.
Very good. And what are you going to study?
Oh, right now, accountancy.
So you like the business side of it?
Yep.
Or being a bean counter?
Yep.
Kalamazoo was a nice town. I was up there for 10 years. I lived there. So, yeah, it's a pretty nice town. A little slower than here, than the Metro Detroit area. But, yeah, they got a good program there at Western.
Yeah, they do.
So I think you have a good time. Stay away from, what's the places that, I better not say where I used to go. Anyway, and Emily, what,
I'll be attending Michigan State next year.
oh, wait a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Who's your boyfriend?
Oh, I'm single.
Oh, well, guys out there, Emily's here. She's looking. Anyway, Michigan State.
Yep.
What are you going to study?
I'll have a major in business and a minor in sports management.
Oh, you want to be an agent or run a sports team or what?
Either an agent would be really cool, or honestly just a digital marketing within sports, professional sports preferably.
Maybe talk to our friend down there at the Utica ballpark, Mr. Appleby. He's always taking on interns. So, I don't know. Just
Good to know.
Just a thought. You know what? You know what you got to say. Go ahead. Go ahead, Anna.
I will be attending Northwood University.
Northwood?
Yeah.
Okay. And who's the boyfriend?
His name's Bryce Wesley.
Does he know any of these other girls?
Well, he actually hasn't met them yet, but he will be.
Oh, okay. What are you going to study up there at?
Entrepreneurship.
So, a business person.
Yeah.
Good. That's a good career. I'm in business, so I think it'll be a fun career. What do you like to do when you're not playing softball? When you have some time off? What is in your free time? What do you like to do?
I like to hunt and fish.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of my time outdoors. I love riding around in my truck.
You sound like an ad for a country music station here. What have you shot?
Oh, well, actually, this fall, I shot a giant 7-point. I've shot a few bucks in my day. I've shot a few squirrels in my day. I smoked a goose last week.
Oh, my God. Well, we'll keep the turkeys away from you here.
Hey, that season's coming up.
Yeah, okay. That's good. Ladies, thank you for joining us here in the Romeo Sports Recap. And we'll be back with more players right after this.
Before we continue, here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show, a word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com.
Welcome back to the Romeo Sports Recap Show. I'm here with a couple more Romeo Bulldog ladies softball players, Elizabeth Pugh and Aubrey Rich. And Elizabeth, tell us a little bit about what class you're in, what position you play.
I'm a senior this year, and I'm third in pitcher.
And Aubrey?
I'm a senior also, and I play first base and third base.
Okay, great. And you guys are off to a pretty good start this year. Difference between last year's team and this year's team that you can recollect?
I think we're a lot more easygoing. Like, we're a lot more calm with our new coach. We're playing more free, like fast and free, I would say. And we've all been playing with each other for so long, we kind of have that good chemistry.
And Aubrey, what do you think?
Yeah, I think we have a really good chemistry this year since we've all been playing together. Not only on high school, but a lot of the seniors play together on travel too. So that also helps. We're a lot more calm in the field, and we're less worried about making a mistake. So it's been good.
Yeah, that helps. Be out there nervous and scared to make a mistake is,
Yeah.
it's kind of like me doing the show. Tell me a little bit about your particular strengths as a softball player. What do you feel is like your biggest strengths?
I'd say I have a pretty high softball IQ. Like, in tough situations, I know what to do with the ball, and having like on base when I know what I can and can't do, I'd say it's pretty good.
How long have you been playing softball?
15 years, like
Oh,
12 years.
you should have learned something, right? And so that probably is what causes and you can anticipate things?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, how about you, Aubrey?
I think I'm a pretty strong hitter, power hitter. I can get the ball out there.
How far can you hit it, do you think? Can you hit home runs?
Yeah, I can hit home runs.
Okay, well, now that I got to come out and see. Everybody loves a home run hitter, right? Right? That's the most popular person. I mean, look at Babe Ruth. He's the most popular person because he was a home run hitter. But what do you think your other strengths are?
I feel like I can get in front of the ball pretty good. Like, in the field, I'm not afraid of it coming up, hitting me in the face. Like, I'll get in front of it, I'll stop it.
Oh, I would hate to have to see that. Don't send me a picture with the ball mark on your face or anything. You pretty first base, right? So you pretty good at stretching and picking the balls out of the dirt like old Mr. Torkelson of the Tigers?
Oh, well, I just started first base. Like, I've been there a few times before, but this year is my first year, like, I'd say full time, basically. I'm getting there. I'm
Okay.
getting there.
Well, you guys are 2-1 on the year. Any particular memories in this short season so far? Anything that's popped up as a highlight for you?
So far, we've been really good with getting our bats going, and then if we don't get them going early, we get them going towards the end. Last game, we had a really good comeback. We were down about 5 runs, and we
Who was
came
that
back.
against Chippewa Valley?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we came back, and even though we were down, we could have just laid down and left it there, but we said no, and we came back and won.
You?
We're good at picking each other up. That's
That's
really
what you as a highlight so far this year.
Yeah, is that
So when you say picking each other up, I mean, what does that mean?
like not physically picking each other? Like, when somebody
Like carry to second base, Okay.
when somebody makes a mistake, like, or not even a mistake, but just like something little, like, oh, you're good. Like, you're good.
So I move
Doesn't
on.
matter. Yeah.
Yeah. So besides being with your boyfriends, what do you guys like to do when you're not playing softball?
Well, we don't have boyfriends, but me and Aubrey love going fishing
Yep.
What kind of fish do you catch?
Bass.
and bluegills.
Oh yeah, where do you fish at? Do you have a favorite fishing hole?
Oh, just ponds.
Uh-huh.
Just around town.
Or Stony Creek.
Do you ever eat anything you catch or just catch and release?
Like up north. Well, like when we go with
Oh.
our families.
You can scale a fish or whatever, or what do they call it? Fillet?
Filet.
Yeah. What do you like to catch up north?
Perch.
Oh, that's a good fish.
Yeah, those deep fried.
Oh yeah.
That's good.
That's good stuff.
Mhm.
Golly. I got a bunch of hunting and fishing people on this Romeo softball team. What's your plans for the future, Elizabeth?
I'm going to go to OCC, Oakland Community College, for 2 years. I'm going to be playing softball there and getting my construction management certificate.
construction management. Oh, that's good. Bart and Mel will be looking for you. Let me know when you're finished. I have somebody there that hires people. So. How about you, Aubrey?
I'm going to play softball at Macomb for 2 years, and I'm just going to get my gen eds there and then transfer somewhere bigger, hopefully still playing softball. I don't know where bigger yet.
You guys are going to play each other in college, maybe.
Yeah, it's the first time.
You going to throw at her?
Hopefully
If she
I won't be
crosses
pitching,
the
but
plate.
Hopefully she is pitching.
That's right. Yeah, hopefully she is pitching, and you'd probably want to tag one off of her, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, ladies, best of luck in the rest of the season. And I have a good feeling about this team that you guys are going to end up in a
Me
pretty
too.
good spot. So thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And I'm here with a couple more Romeo girls varsity softball players, Jackie LeBlanc and Annabelle Power. And ladies, start out just like we did with the other girls. Tell us your class and what position you play.
I'm a senior and I play in the outfield and sometimes at second base.
I'm a senior as well, and I'm a shortstop.
And you're the sort of the field general out there in the infield, right? I mean, how long have you been playing shortstop? Annabelle?
All my life. I've been playing since I was 4, so a good 14 years.
That's a lot of softball.
Yeah.
You're ready to retire in a couple of years. How about you, Jackie? You infield, outfield. What do you kind of like better?
I kind of like the outfield a little bit better. I feel a little more comfortable there. I feel like I get good reads off of the ball from the outfield. I've had a little bit more practice there.
You anticipate where the ball's going, even like while it's being pitched, and
Yeah.
kind of tell.
Right. Sometimes like when we get the pitch calls, I can see like inside, outside, and kind of go off of that to get a better jump on the ball if I'm expecting them to like pull the ball more or go opposite.
Okay. And how about you, Annabelle? Shortstop. Do you anticipate, or can you kind of judge, kind of move before the ball's even hit?
I think I can probably do a little bit of both. It's more of a reflex like type thing for me.
Okay. And what would you say the strengths of your game are? What do you bring to the table that you feel you do really well?
I believe that my softball IQ is pretty up there. Like, I'll know what to do in certain situations, how to handle the ball, and how to help out my teammates. And I also believe that my defense is one of the better parts of my game as well.
And how about you, Jackie?
I feel like I'm a pretty consistent or reliable hitter, especially with 2 strikes. Like, I don't let that get me down and stress me out.
Like, what's your mentality? Okay, I got 2 strikes on me. Like, what do you change in your batting style?
I try not to change too much because I don't want to get like out of my groove, I guess. And I just focus more on making contact with the ball rather than swinging for power.
Okay. And a little bit about the team this year. You guys are 2-1. You're off to a pretty good start. What did you think about this year's start so far?
I think it's been a lot of fun. We have a lot of girls returning from last year. I think we only have 2 new girls, so we still have a lot of that chemistry and like team bonding from last year with each other. And we're all pretty comfortable and kind of know how each other play and what our attitudes are and how to pick each other up.
Can you guess what's on the other one's mind?
Sometimes, yeah. Depending on the facial expressions, we can kind of
Okay.
tell how they're feeling.
Okay. And how about you, Annabelle? What do you think so far?
No, I agree with Jackie. A lot of us have played with each other for a good portion of our lives, even before high school started, or playing against each other in some sort of way. I feel that all of us have good team camaraderie, and we have like the drive that we want to win. Like, none of us are in it just like to go through the motions. We want to win. We want to like help our teammates out and do what's best.
So you guys would take a bite out of somebody if you have to just to win, right?
Yeah.
That's how competitive it is.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you guys like to do when you're not playing softball? I know you play basketball, but what else do you do?
I'm also on our robotics team, so I go typically after practice or home games. I'll head over to our middle school build space and do robotics.
And what is your specialty in robotics? Is it structure? Is it coding?
I do fabrication, so I like cut and make the parts and put them on the robot.
Mm-hmm. And do you have specifications that you got to do, or do you just kind of look at it and go, I think I'm gonna have to do this?
Sometimes it's both. Sometimes it's parts that you can't see that you have to guess that kind of break, and then some parts where you can visibly see and like you have to fix it and you can see that it's broken.
And how about you, Annabelle? What do you do when you're not playing softball or sports?
Yeah, I like to go fishing, golf. I watch a lot of baseball too.
And, oh, you watched the Tigers were pretty good starting off. I don't know how they did win a little bit here.
A little bit. They're going. They're going.
So I'll tell you a little secret that nobody knows about me. It's new for me, but I've got YouTube. I go on YouTube, and after I watch the Romeo Sports Recap show, I go and I flip back to Major League All-Star games back from like 1960 before I was even able to comprehend. And all I watch in those games is the introduction of the players, because it's just fascinating to me to watch them all be there, and it also helps me remember how good some of these players were, you know, as compared to today where you got a 250 hitter and they're paying him $10 million.
Right.
God, I miss my calling.
Yeah.
I wonder what water boys are up to now. So what do you want to do once the softball's over?
After high school, I'm gonna go to Oakland University and play softball there.
The famous Oakland University that the basketball team made famous. So that's a big step. Well, that's good. I mean, that's a good place to go. It's close to home, and I think there's some fishing holes out there in Oakland County. So.
Yeah, quite a few.
Yeah. And how about you, Jackie?
I'll be going to Lawrence Tech to play softball as well. And I'll be studying probably mechanical engineering.
Okay. Well, that's good. Well, then you have to look us up at our company when you're done for a mechanical engineering job. But thank you for being on the show, and wish you luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed our look here at the Romeo girls varsity softball team, and we hope to see you next time right here on the Romeo Sports Recap Show.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in to this episode of the Romeo Sports Recap Show, powered by the Mitt TV. Remember, this show is available on both YouTube and Spotify. You can subscribe to the Mitt TV YouTube page and click the notification bell to stay up to date on the latest episodes of the Romeo Sports Recap. Or you can find us on Spotify and follow our podcast, Romeo Sports Recap. From the Mitt TV, I'm Tim Meyer, signing off with a final word from our sponsors. This podcast is powered by the Mitt TV of Romeo, Michigan. If you're looking to start a podcast for your business or personal use, look no further than the Mitt TV. They can get you access to equipment, a production engineer, and even edit your podcast. That's all right here at the Mitt TV of Romeo. And you can contact them right now via email at mitt.tvromeo@gmail.com